Hi, I'm James Fielding, Director of Molotov Recruitment, and today I am really annoyed, and I am going to have a rant about it. You see, how many times do you see people on television documentaries or in the paper saying, "Oh, I applied for 100 jobs and I didn't get a single response," all the time? They complain they don't hear anything and that recruitment agencies are rude just by ignoring them, and it's so hard to find work just now because everybody's unemployed. Well, today I'm prepared to let you into a secret that this will never happen to you, okay? This is the best advice anyone looking for any job should take. And I want you to remember this, short but sweet, 4 words. Read the bloody advert, yeah? The advert will contain a job description. The job description will tell you what the job involves and what sort of candidate the employer is after and what experience they would need to have in order to be able to do that job. Pretty straightforward, yeah? No, it would appear not. For the last couple of days, I'll use this as an example, I've been advertising for a sales manager position for a residential letting agency based in Milton Keynes. It's paying top money because there's a lot involved in the role, a lot of responsibility, and because it's quite a special candidate that we need. In the advert, it clearly states some of the requirements that a successful candidate must meet. Amongst other things, at least 3 years management experience in residential lettings, good local knowledge, and a driving licence. None of this, I think, is unreasonable, given you'll be working in an industry which has more regulations than you can shake a stick at, and requires you to know the area you're working in inside out. And as you'll be managing about a dozen staff, responsible for the daily management of around 600 rented properties with an annual rent roll of around £4 million, and pretty much every day you're going to need to drive to places. Obviously, a good position for a good package like this one generates a fair bit of interest. The majority of applicants, however, seem to be using the tried and tested technique of going onto a job site and hitting the Apply for All button for absolutely any job that comes up anywhere in the whole country, and either not bothering to write a covering letter, which is just lazy, or using the generic one generated by the job site, which is equally lazy and does you no favours. It is so depressing to see the amount of people who just cannot be bothered to make an effort. In the last 48 hours, I've had 18 job applications with the same covering letter, stating the same old lies. I feel I would be an excellent candidate for your above vacancy, as it closely matches my skills and experience. And you know what? In 99% of the cases, it comes nowhere close to matching their skills or experience. So, going back to the sales manager position, whose CVs have we had in so far? Oh, we've had a 19-year-old hairdresser in Leicester who doesn't have a driving licence. Someone wanting a job in financial services. In Kent. Somebody wanting to be a journalist. A trainee landscape gardener in Wolverhampton. We've had numerous other people who've never worked in any part of the property industry, never had any management experience, and never lived or worked anywhere near where the job is based. Incredibly, we've had 3 applications in from India, Spain, and South America, with none of these candidates ever having lived or worked even in the UK. I emailed one and asked if they were looking to relocate, as to commute from Madrid every morning might be a bit of a trek. And they replied, "No, why?" Well, how else are you going to get to do a job in Milton Keynes? Oh, is Milton Keynes in the UK then? No, it's in sodding Colombia. Unbelievable. Like I said, read the bloody advert, yeah? And let's just assume for a minute that some candidates do actually read the advert for the job they're applying for, and I know there's a few. Please, put some thought into your CV, as this is what represents you and is the first thing either the agency or the employer see. Today, I've had a great CV in from someone who couldn't spell the residential part of residential lettings correctly, and whose CV could have been better produced if you fed a 2-year-old 6 cans of Red Bull and then gave them a marker pen and some paper. The funniest one we've had was from someone who claimed to be IT literate. and then spelt literate wrongly. Now, I know you're lying to me if you do that. If you are indeed IT literate, you would be familiar with something called spell check. Let me give you a clue. If you're typing something and a little red squiggly line appears under that word, it means it's spelt wrong, so change it. It's not exactly rocket science, is it? When you are applying for a job, apply for ones which is within the realms of reality that you might get. Do you know, I always thought it would be a really cool job to be testing fighter jets. And do you know what? I've never applied for a job doing that. Why? Because I don't know anything about fighter jets, because I've never worked in the aviation industry and I can't fly a plane. So therefore, logic would dictate I'm not going to get a job where I'm paid to do something I can't do. So on a smaller scale, if you've worked in a state agency for 6 months as a trainee sales negotiator, and prior to that you worked in a supermarket, and prior to that you were at school, there is no point you applying for an estate agency area manager position on $65,000 a year, because you're not going to get it. Apply for a senior negotiator position, by all means, work your way up the ladder, go for that in a few years, but do you honestly think someone is going to give you a pay rise of the best part of 50k and let you loose managing a chain of offices with just 6 months experience in the industry? Not a chance. So next time you hear someone complaining that they've applied for hundreds of jobs and not got anywhere, ask them how they did it. If it's anything like how I've described, get them to watch this video, please. It's not that there's no employment available, it's that so many people are simply unemployable. And above all, please tell them, read the bloody advert. Thank you.